Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick-a-Reads. This video should be on James 13 Wicca on YouTube, just to make sure that that's there. I'll put the cards and dice that I use below if you're looking to see what I'm using. Most of my videos in the last couple months should have that. What else? I am currently doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. If you're near there and you're interested, shoot me an email, I'll give you details. Otherwise, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. All right, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Taurus? Bam. I don't know why I'm so excited, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Hopefully we have good things coming for Taurus. That could be curious. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, listen. All right, so... All right, let's see where this is going. That's interesting. We got this... Okay. I am excited, though. Things are going to go in a different direction. I do feel like that's going to be a challenge. So, when this started, this may have been around for quite a long time. Because I got the Page of Cups, which, for your reading, I kind of get that, like, to me, this is like a 12 to 14-year-old person. And it's kind of like it has room to grow, you know, a lot to develop. And this might have, when you started this situation, you may have had a very limited understanding of, like, how do I even fit? It might have been that kind of, like, I'm not even sure if I fit here. Because, like, I kind of get that adolescent feel with this card. Like, when you got involved in this, like, do I even fit here? Does it even make sense that I'm here? Does it even make sense? And for whatever reason, you were there. 8 of Pentacles, but it comes in like this on the dice. And the Devil card upside down, part of the reason you're here is because I feel like I had to move forward. This could be like a job situation very easily. Ironically, I do feel for some of you, this could be a relationship situation where maybe you moved ahead with a relationship and you were really questioning if this was a good idea. Okay, we'll just go with that. So, starting out, it was a little rickety to start out. But I feel like you took slow steps, and how deep did you get here? I think you got pretty deep. Because it might have been around for quite a while. I keep getting that. So, where are we going with this? Great question. 4 of Pentacles, holding on. Your card. Is that out? No. It's on the dice, though, the Hierophant card. So, is that the 6? Yeah, 6 of Cups is history. History, and the Emperor is very much... The Emperor can a lot of times signify, in my opinion, brutal honesty, brutal action forward to fix something. It's like when you find out the truth and you just can't get around it. There's no coloring it. It's kind of like, you know, coming home and your kids had a party all weekend and, like, windows are broken, door frames are broken, the lock is ripped off the door. It's like clearly this happened and there's a lot to clean up. You can't get around it. You're like, I just have to start fixing things. There's just no way around it. The truth needed to come forward. With trust coming in on this one, it was always there. It was always there. But the thing is, the thing is about the Moon card, it's a passing energy. The full moon typically lasts for what, like 3 nights? Typically? So when this energy kind of like lifts, it's kind of like it's not so much about the truth as it's presented. It's about the reality that's left in its wake. And this is where you get a lot of healing with this one. A lot of healing. Okay, so there's a lot of healing here. I am definitely one of those readers, just however the cards come out, that's what we go with, right? You know what I mean? It's just how it is. The truth is... Okay. Like, these readings are meant to be empowering. Let's keep that in mind. The healing from this is... You're very dynamic. You can do a lot. But, like, one example I would say is you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. You can make choices for yourself, but other people have to decide for themselves what they're going to do in life. And some people just are who they are. They may have the ability to do something differently, but whatever this is, you don't have that power to convince them. There's only one person who does, and that's them. And a lot of these people have no interest. A lot of these people also will find a way to manipulate that situation if you try to, and use it to their advantage, not actually change, but try to get as far as they can with it, making you believe they did. Be careful of that. I feel like at this point, for the people who are going to hit with this one, there's enough history here where you've probably bent yourself into a pretzel many times trying to help this situation, and it looked like it was going well, but the truth always comes forward. And that's another reason the trust card is coming in. Trust yourself. You know what this is. You know what this person is going to do if you try to help them again. If you're okay with that, that's totally your business. But you know where this is going to go. Just at the very least, make peace with that. There's more coming in. There's another energy coming in. I feel like I have an informant coming in. Comes in. I don't think it's going to stay very long. There's also the Knight of Wands behind it. So, and what their motivations are, who knows, are very questionable. They're clearly motivated for some reason to bring information towards you. But I feel like they're going to give you a lot more proof so that you know, like, it's not just you thinking it, which you probably knew that anyway. But, like, there's going to be a lot of reinforcing information, kind of like, not only are you right, but it's not going to get better. Take it with a grain of salt. This puts you in a position where you need to make a decision. Ironically. And it's one of those things where I usually step back and I go, well, you don't need to do anything. But I feel like this actually is going to put you in a spot where you're going to either accept or not. You're going to either accept or reject what's going on here. I don't feel like there's a midway. It's kind of like, you know, the bus comes to the stop and you're making a decision to either get off the bus or stay on the bus. There's no midway. You can't just run alongside of it. And, you know what I mean? You're going to stay on the bus or you're going to get off of it. It's a decision. And I do feel like it's going to be a conscious one. I don't see you defaulting at anything here. I feel like that's why I'm saying it kind of feels like you do need to do this. And if you decide, you know, I'm just going to stay on the bus, then you're deciding to. And I feel like that's a level here. You already know what this is about. If this reading is hitting, you know, you already have your proof. You already know how you feel. You've put in the effort. You've put in more than enough effort. If you go into another stage of talking it out, thinking it out, trying to convince yourself, I need to be sure, you are staying on the bus. You are actively choosing to stay on the bus. If you go into this thought process again, it's fine, but they're like, address that you're actually choosing to at the very least. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. The other possibility I see here, which is the get off the bus. I'm going to do the dice on this because it's not bad, but it does feel like it's uncomfortable. It's not bad, but I would say it's uncomfortable. And it's not going to happen overnight. but it is going to create a permanent change, is what I'm getting. You got the World card coming up on the dice, but you have the Eight of Wands coming up like this. It's going to seem like it's faster than it actually is. Start, you're going to get off the bus in the sense of like, start putting this where it needs to go. Start putting control in your hands only. Because you might have shared control here, and I don't know whether it's going to mean, it depends on your situation. So for example, maybe you work for somebody else, and it's kind of like, well, it's their business. They have control about how this business is run. By putting control in your hands, you're like addressing like, I don't have to stay for this. I do have the option to go somewhere else. I do have the option on my own morals, what I will and will not do. If they're telling me I have to stay an hour after closing and not get paid for it, I don't have to do that. And if they're going to fire me for that, we can see if the chips will go. But I also think maybe typically if Taurus was going to do something like that, you'd either be job hunting or probably already have another job by the time you did such a thing. You do have the choice to start moving, because I don't see it happening really fast, but I feel like once I've made up my mind, I'm like, you know what? I need to change this situation. This isn't working. I've tried multiple times, multiple ways, and it's not working. So I need to do something different. Once you make that conscious choice, you will start balancing it out how you need to, and you will start finding a way to make it secure for you. It just seems to me like it's second nature. It's hard to make that decision, but once you've made peace with it and you're like, yeah, I need to, you're going to be like, well, if I'm going to do that, I need to do this. All right, let me look into that. All right, let me consider this. All right, let's look over here. You're just going to naturally kind of like, once you've committed to it, you're going to start moving. These are supposed to be empowerment readings, and it is going in an empowering way, but I know a little bit about Taurus. I don't have a lot of Taurans in my life, but I've known some over the years, and I know when things don't go the way they thought they would, there's a process of letting go, and you're not going to like it. And I'm just going to be honest. Taurus is that energy, in my opinion, that other people are like, yeah, I gave up on that. And they're like, give up. I've heard of this concept. How does that work for you? Because Taurus doesn't really do give up. Not very well. It's hard for Taurus to let go normally. Not always. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. But typically, Taurus is there for everything, and they don't let go. And when they realize they need to, that's a process. It's a struggle. It really is. So you making that, once you start moving forward, you will commit to it, and you will start going through the process, and it probably will be a struggle for you. It's going to be hard to step out that door and go onto a new path. It's a new path. I don't know what's on this path. I like to stick with things I know about. I like to stick with things I know how it's going to work. But this devil got too strong for me, and I need to step out on this path. And there's going to be some struggles with this. It will pass. It will pass. Remembering your strength, that when you choose something else, you show up to make it work. You show up to get what you want out of it. You don't show up to things that are going to fail. You show up to things that maybe they're not the best right now, but you will make them a success. Remember your strength. You might have to start back at square one, which is hard. Like if starting at a new business, starting at a new job, who knows? Maybe this is talking about walking away from a partner, walking away from a marriage. It could be that. And starting into a whole new part of life without that behind you, and fresh new start. It's unnerving, but you are success. You are the success. And you have that dependability to make it work. May not be comfortable for a little while, but you'll bring it back up to where it needs to be. You're starting back at the adolescent stage here with the Page of Pentacles, but you will grow it to where you need to go. Is it enjoyable to start back at this square? No. But will you make it worth it? Definitely. You're not going to go through all this just to repeat those problems either. So give yourself that credit too. You went through this time. You're not looking to repeat this pattern. So by stepping out of it, starting anew, you learned a lot. We all do. This is life. Life always goes, I don't care who you are. People always have these issues where things, you thought they were good. At the time you started it, you thought you could make it work. Down the road so far, and you're like, well, I guess that was not the best idea, but I didn't know that at the time. I didn't have the frame of reference. You do now. And now that you have that frame of reference, you're going to make this next situation awesome. You're going to have that success that you need, that you have to have. I do get, again, you may be surprised but it's gonna feel like it's slow, but it's gonna pass quicker than you think. I don't know if that's really gonna make any of you feel better, so I hope it does. I hope it's a positive energy there, but it really does pass a lot quicker than expected. It's almost like, 5 years pass, and before you know it, you're in a place where you're much happier than you probably ever have been in your life, and it went by like that. Like, if I think back 5 years ago, I'm kind of shocked. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me that 2019 was 5 years ago, and where things were and where things are now. It just seems like it went by like that. I'm just saying. I feel like you know that as Taurans. I feel like Taurans get that. So hopefully that's helpful. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.